Hi Ghosties, it's Meg Ghosty. Now I noticed I have been very absent with my channel and basically being kind of confused with what I want to do. But while I'm waiting for like Gothic suits to come into this game, I want to put my waiting into good uses. And no, that does not mean expose more YouTubers because I'm bad at that. And I'm still going to do what I do currently. So for now, I want my content to go back to the actual game. And I actually been behind the scenes, and that's why the months went by, to do some character review. And it's been taking me a lot and also a lot of stamina, but I've literally been doing this. ah, I've been doing this on Pinterest, tried to do it on Instagram, but Instagram's terrible with its searches. I'm trying to do as much research as possible for the character review. And since characters is not really that popular to kind of talk about, I just want to put it up there. And I know my content has pretty much not been going nowhere, which I don't mind at all. Just like to address it, it doesn't hurt. They just want to just put more light into the character development and how bad it is that these characters' development is being poorly portrayed. And I'd like to put some light onto that. But I'm going to be reviewing every single one of these characters into separate videos. Some of them will be in the same video because I know the lack of, and also the writers are putting lack of information of them. So I just rather be like, just putting all these short character reviews together if they go under 10 minutes. So I think it would be a good idea and put some flipping light into the situation. And I will do this one by one so people won't be like, oh, you missed this information out. And let me tell you, I will not be filling in hell event stories or event stories with the main chapters, because I think with the hell event and the chapter and the event stories are way ahead of our main chapter's position. So with that said, I'm going to block out any hell event stories because there is literally no file in the game that would let us remind us to, oh, this happened with this character in this hell event. We don't have that form of information in the game, and that's what's annoying me. And not just me, a lot of people do not know that the return of these hell events do not come with a return of that story. The story is completely wiped out from the hell event, and it just leaves us with so much questions. So with that said, I don't want any form of information coming from these hell events because it's not really invalid. It just brings into a chaotic disaster in the story. But I think the main part would be in the main chapters. And also some will be from the Dreamweaver because you look into their past. Only some of the characters are in Dreamweaver. We do need like a lot of focus in Dreamweaver. But most of the stories in Dreamweaver we have so far is mostly Yvette's. And we got this new Yvette's Dreamweaver coming soon within an update. So I think Yvette's development will be very easy to do. Sadly, she's least of my favorites. And I'm going into this order of my favorite character to characters that I'm okay with to characters that I despise. I was going to that order because not a lot of people look into positive videos as much, so with the negative going last, I think that's where most of the buzz or most of the criticisms would go towards. So, with that said, I think you guys would enjoy yourselves and also hate me in the process. Not like you already do. And I noticed that, like I said before, not a lot of people. I know this video is going to be like 13 minutes long, and I'm trying to make as much time as possible. Yes, a lot of people have not put any form of videos on these characters. Not a lot of people talk about these characters or how their journey is. I hear the bang. I just think it would be a good idea to just put my thoughts into these characters and what I don't like about this in situations and how it could easily be avoided. And the writers' situation, I'm going to criticize the writers as well And I don't want to hear any form of criticisms of, oh, English is not their first language. I think that defense mechanism for many people is not invalid. I simply see that as excuses. They could easily get like a fluent English writer for the stories to make more sense, other than those that do a lot of spelling mistakes, made a lot of like not making sense. I rather just be like, no, it's not going to be about that, but it's going to be about how they write these characters' development poorly. The game that you see me playing now, their character development is beautiful. I love it. The character that you see right now that I'm playing as is called May Raiden. Now, this character used to be so useless in the past. This form of hers is her S rank, her S rank being the strongest. And there's a lot of other characters, but we're going to focus on May. May's character development has beautifully developed to being the weakest and only depending on her friend, and trying to actually strengthen herself to help her friend in situations. She noticed herself that she is not that powerful to begin with. She always degrades herself and her strength. So when she went up against another character called Durandal is the strongest character in another team. I don't know what you call it, but I kind of forgot, so don't blame me. Durandal is a commander, and that said, she is somewhat the powerful character that they can be. And when May, in her weak form, went against Durandal, S rank suit. So from straight up to that point, it wasn't a fair fight. And of course, May lost, and her friend got kidnapped by Durandal as she was knocked out. So May didn't give up her fight, and she tried her best to go and trying to save her friend from that situation. Her friend escaped Durandal's grasp because of a certain outbreak of mechs and also psycho sort of like types of enemies attacking Durandal's side. Kiana ran away. And now we went back to May's side of the story. May tried to find her friend again in a city she was born in with Kiana. I think it was born in or raised in, I don't know. But she tried to find her friend in this situation, but she came across kids that was abandoned or felt like they were abandoned. So May was like, I will protect you all, but I'm just here mainly to look for my friend. And she was certain that the people that was talking about this certain person coming back to save them, they were mostly talking about Raven. Raven is an enemy of yours, so you don't get to play as her. You don't have you teamed up with her for sure, but it's only for like restrictions reasons. So you'll be partnered with Raven, but after that, you will go against Raven because of your differences in your situation. Raven wants to kill Kiana while May wants to save Kiana. Once May saved Kiana and Raven gone back to her own little like party with her the children she saved, they are going to escape from their city to protect the children in another city. So May went back over there and talked with Raven. And Raven gave her the option of, you can save Kiana, but it will change you forever. So May was like, I'll give it a good thought. She went back to the ship. She looked at Kiana's situation. Kiana was getting worse with the infection of her core. And she was like, I need to do this. And I'm doing this for you. And look what she turned out to be. May is now a powerful character. She's at S rank. This is her form. She is stone cold because of the situation she was in, and she's just doing this to save a friend in a deal of protecting this enemy side. So she is now partnered with Raven, she's partnered with Jackal, and she's partnered with Grey Serpent, and also Owl that you saw. Owl is a new character in the game. So this is what I mean by character development. You have to write the weakest points from the very beginning. And then you will write about the certain situations they were in to then become a character they are now. And this was this was May's story. She was the weakest, useless character to have, and her hits were so weak. Even if you want to play as May, her hits were completely weak. Even if you upgraded her, she would not be strong at all. But when you use her S rank, she's strong, she developed. So her development goes beyond the story to then being the useful character she is to this day. Nikki. Her development went up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I will give you reasons as to why, well, not reasons as to, oh, I know this specific reason. No, I'll give you reasons as to why I think it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. I simply see this happening, and a lot of people will be like, no, it's not happening, you haven't read the rest of the story, this, that, and other. And I will come up with points as to, it's going up and down. The writers don't know what they're doing. They're making a bad job of character development, like they half-assed the job. They need to be solid with their story writing. And to me, they're just lacking it. They only write down certain situations of Henry's and Luna's situation, which was the breaking scarring point for every other character that's been in that situation. And then just right after that, it's just like everything went back to normal. They're going back to the trail. And then a whole Kimi situation, like everything was rushed. With this game, you have chaos after chaos after chaos. And these chaoses don't separate from the recent chaos that recently happened. It all links to each other like chains. Nikki's situation was like, this situation happened here, the chain's being cut, this situation is now happening. Chain's being cut to now this situation of kidnapping happening, to this chain cut to, oh, Bobo suddenly just got up and disappeared. I think the story writing in Nikki's game is poorly done. Is badly done. And that's when people was like, no, you're wrong, because you're not reading into this Hierophant story, which Hierophant should not be the main tape of putting these stories together. Hierophant stories should have been Hierophant stories, not part of the main theme, not part of the main chapters, not part of anything important. It should stay as a Hierophant theme. Nothing important, nothing said should be important in those Hierophants, because the stories do not come back the second time. They basically they come around once and they don't come around again. So they're like the rare part of the game, more rare than the collaboration suits, because you get to use collaboration suits once you got them. But with this story, you read it once. If you have any form of screenshots or screen recording of the story, you have that prize. But with collaboration suits, you can use them and keep using them. Sure, they won't come back the second time, but you have them in your wardrobe, and if you don't, I guess it's bad. I don't know. But this is what I mean. I want a good, solid story, and Nikki's not giving that to any of us. So they're doing everything wrong. And this game kind of just throws Nikki under the freaking bus, in my honest opinion. Because they're doing everything right within the story and caring about the story. And then within that story, they've developed the characters. Anyway, that's it from me. Have a nice life, guys.